Let me start by saying that being an Enigma is deeply inconvenient. You'd think it would be cool. Rare designation, mysterious powers, everyone whispers when you walk past. And sure, there are perks. I can sense emotions like other people sense temperature. I can project calm into a room full of panicking adults. I once made a teacher forget she was going to give a pop quiz just by thinking really hard about blank chalkboards. But here's the thing no one tells you about being one of maybe 12 Enigmas in the entire country. Everyone wants something from you. The government wants to study you. Corporations want to hire you. Desperate alphas want to bond with you because Enigmas are supposedly the perfect match for their unstable, aggression-prone brains. I'm 17. I don't want to be studied. I don't want to be hired. And I definitely don't want to be bonded to some posturing alpha who thinks his knot gives him personality. At least, that's what I told myself. Then I saw Kwon Jaehyuk on television. It was a business news segment. Boring. Gray suits. Graphs going up and down like they had personal grudges. I was only watching because my foster mother had hidden the remote again. Then, the camera cut to the CEO of H Group. And I forgot how to breathe. He was tall. Broad shoulders. Dark hair pushed back from a face that looked like it had been carved by someone who hated joy. His jaw could have cut glass. His eyes were cold, distant, magnificent. The reporter asked him something about quarterly earnings. He answered in 3 words. The reporter asked a follow-up. He raised one eyebrow. The entire studio fell silent. I leaned toward the television like a plant reaching for sunlight. "Oh no," I whispered. My foster mother walked in. "What's wrong?" "I'm in trouble." "You're always in trouble." "No, Mom, real trouble." I pointed at the screen. "That man. I'm gonna make him mine." She looked at the screen, looked at me, looked back at the screen. "He's 32, she said. "I'm aware." "He's an alpha." "I'm also aware." "He's the richest man in the country." "Mom," I turned to her with the most serious expression I could manage. "I'm an Enigma. I once convinced a convenience store clerk to give me free ramen just by thinking about it really hard. I think I can handle one CEO." She sighed. It was the sigh of a woman who had raised me for 10 years and had long since accepted that nothing she said would stop me from being exactly who I was. "Don't get arrested," she said. "No promises." Here's what I learned about Kwon Jaehyuk in the following weeks. He worked 18 hours a day. He fired anyone who lied to him. He had never been in a romantic relationship that lasted longer than 3 months. His own employees called him the Ice King behind his back. He was widely considered incapable of love, laughter, or basic human warmth. I thought this was adorable. "You're not listening to me," said my best friend Mina. She was a beta, which meant she was immune to my Enigma nonsense, and therefore uniquely qualified to tell me when I was being insane. "I'm listening." "You're plotting." "I'm strategizing." "It's the same thing with you." I grinned. "How do I meet him?" "You don't. He's protected by 3 layers of security, a private elevator, and what I can only assume is a deep-seated fear of the general public." "Mina." "What?" "I'm an Enigma." "That doesn't mean you can just... I once walked into a military base by accident and no one stopped me." "That's because you're a walking national secret. They probably thought you were supposed to be there." I stood up, grabbed my bag, headed for the door. "Where are you going?" Mina demanded. "To fall in love." "He's gonna have you arrested." "He's gonna try." I got into the H Group building on my 3rd attempt. The first 2 times I was stopped by security. Not because they recognized me. I wore a different face each time, using the Enigma trick of projecting a different appearance into people's perceptions. The problem was that I couldn't stop grinning at the thought of seeing him, and apparently a grinning teenager trying to enter a corporate headquarters is suspicious behavior. Third time, I projected bored office worker bringing coffee and walked right past the front desk. The elevator required a key card. I borrowed one from a man who was too distracted by his phone to notice me projecting I'm supposed to have this. The buttons only went to floor 26. The executive floor was 30. I took the stairs. By the time I reached floor 30, I was sweating, slightly out of breath, and questioning every life choice that had led me to this moment. But then I opened the stairwell door, and there he was. Kwon Jaehyuk, standing in a hallway, looking at a tablet, wearing a dark gray suit that probably cost more than my foster mother's car. He didn't look up. "Security," he said, "will be here in 30 seconds. I froze. "You knew I was coming?" "I knew someone was coming. You're the 7th person this month who's tried to sneak onto this floor." He glanced up. His eyes were dark, sharp, utterly unimpressed. "You're also the youngest. Congratulations." "I'm not here to hurt you." "Then why are you here?" I opened my mouth, closed it. For the first time in my 17 years of existence, I had no clever answer. "I'm here to..." I trailed off. He raised that eyebrow, the same one from television. It was even more devastating in person. "To what?" "To tell you that you're beautiful," I said, because my brain had apparently abandoned me, "and that I'm going to make you fall in love with me." Silence. The longest silence of my life. Then Kwon Jaehyuk laughed. It was not a nice laugh. It was the laugh of a man who had heard every pickup line in existence and was adding mine to a mental list titled "Reasons I Hate People." "You're a child," he said. "I'm 17. 17 is a child. Age is just a number. Tell that to the police when I report you for trespassing." Security arrived. 2 large men in black suits. They grabbed my arms. I could have stopped them, projected confusion, fear, the sudden urge to go home. But I didn't, because Jaehyuk was still watching me, and something in his expression had shifted. Curiosity, maybe? Or confusion. "Wait," I said, as they started dragging me away. Jaehyuk tilted his head. "You're gonna see me again," I said. "I'm gonna keep showing up, not because I'm crazy. Okay, a little crazy, but because I know something you don't." "And what's that?" I smiled, let just a little of my Enigma presence leak out. Enough for him to feel it. Enough for his alpha instincts to sit up and pay attention. "You're lonely," I said, "and I'm the only person in this city who can fix that." His eyes widened, just a fraction, just enough. Then the security guards dragged me into the elevator, and the doors closed, and the last thing I saw was Kwon Jaehyuk standing alone in a hallway, staring at the space where I had been. It took 6 weeks. 6 weeks of showing up, 6 weeks of being escorted out, 6 weeks of projecting calm and warmth, and I'm not a threat, I just want to sit near him, through every layer of security he threw at me. On week 2, he stopped calling the police and just had me escorted to the lobby. On week 3, he started watching me from his office window as I sat on the building's front steps, doing homework. On week 4, he sent an assistant down with a cup of tea. "To keep you warm," the assistant said, looking baffled. On week 5, I was sitting in my usual spot when Jaehyuk himself walked out of the building. "Get in the car," he said. "What car?" "The black one behind you." I turned. There was a black car. I hadn't noticed it. That was concerning, because I was supposed to notice things. Where are we going? Dinner. You're going to stop stalking me, and I'm going to stop pretending I don't find you interesting. He opened the door. Get in. I got in. Dinner was awkward. Not because we didn't have chemistry, we had too much. Every time our hands brushed across the table, his alpha instincts flared, and my Enigma senses lit up like a Christmas tree. But he kept looking at me like I was a puzzle he couldn't solve, and I kept looking at him like he was the sun, and neither of us knew how to have a normal conversation. You're an enigma, he said. Was that a question? It's an observation. You hide your designation. Most enigmas do. It's dangerous to be known. I'm not hiding. I paused. Okay, I'm hiding a little, but not from you. Then what are you doing? I set down my fork, looked him in the eyes, let my walls drop, all of them. Let him feel what I felt. The ridiculous, overwhelming, completely inexplicable certainty that he was mine. I'm choosing you, I said. Enigmas don't bond like alphas and omegas. We choose. And I choose you. Jaehyuk's face went pale, then flushed, then settled into something I couldn't read. You're 17, he said. I'll be 18 in 4 months. You're a teenager. I'm a genius teenager. There's a difference. He rubbed his forehead. This is insane. Probably. I'm too old for you. You're 32. That's not old. I'm your CEO. You're a CEO. My CEO is Mr. Park from the convenience store, and I can assure you, he does not look like you. Jaehyuk stared at me for a long moment. Then he did something I hadn't expected. He smiled. Not the cold, distant smile from television. A real one. Small, reluctant, like he was trying very hard not to let it happen, and failing completely. You're impossible, he said. I've been told. If I agree to explore this, to see where it goes, you have to stop trespassing in my building. Agreed. And you have to tell me your real name. I hesitated. That was the thing about being an enigma. Names had power. If he knew mine, really knew it, he could find me anywhere, call me anywhere, reach past every wall I'd ever built. But I had already decided. I had chosen him the moment I saw him on that television screen. Han Sejun, I said. My name is Han Sejun. Jaehyuk nodded, reached across the table, took my hand. Kwon Jaehyuk, he said. But you already knew that. I did. Then we're even. Not even close. I grinned. I know your favorite coffee order, your security schedule, the fact that you're allergic to roses but love peonies. You don't know anything about me. Then tell me. Over dinner, I said. Next week. And the week after that. And the week after that. Jaehyuk's hand tightened on mine. That's a lot of dinners. You're a very rich man. You can afford it. He laughed, really laughed, warm and surprised, and the sound made my chest hurt in the best possible way. I'm going to regret this, he said. Probably. And enjoy it. Definitely. He looked at me across the table, this impossible, frustrating, beautiful young man who had barged into his life and refused to leave. One condition, he said. What's that? When you turn 18, we tell the press. No more hiding, no more secrets. He paused. I'm too old to pretend I'm not falling for a teenager. It's embarrassing. I stared at him. You're falling for me? Against my will, against all logic, against every lawyer I have on retainer. He squeezed my hand. Yes, I'm falling for you. Happy? I was so happy I thought I might float right out of my chair. Ecstatic, I said. But also, I have one condition of my own. What? I leaned across the table, dropped my voice to a whisper, let my Enigma presence wrap around him like a blanket. Warm, safe, mine. You have to stop working 18 hours a day. I didn't fall in love with a ghost. I want the real you. Tired, grumpy, bad at feelings, all of it. Jaehyuk's breath caught. That's a lot to ask. I'm a lot to handle. You knew what you were signing up for. He shook his head, slowly, wonderingly, like he couldn't quite believe his own life. I didn't sign up for anything. You will, I said. Give it time. 4 months later, I turned 18. 4 months after that, the press conference happened.
Kwon Jaehyuk, CEO of H Group, reveals relationship with mysterious Enigma. The headline screamed. Age gap controversy? Who is Han Sejun? Is this legal? It was legal. We checked. Several times. With several lawyers. My foster mother cried. Mina called me a disaster in human form and then hugged me for 10 minutes. The government sent a politely worded letter asking if I'd consider registering as a national resource. I threw the letter away. Jaehyuk and I bought a house. Not a mansion, just a house, with a garden and too many windows and a kitchen that I immediately filled with peonies. He still works too much, but now he comes home at 7. We eat dinner together. He tells me about his day. I tell him about mine. He's still bad at feelings. He's still grumpy. He still raises that eyebrow when I do something ridiculous, which is often. But when he thinks I'm not looking, he smiles. That small, reluctant, real smile. And I smile back. Stop staring, he says one night. We're on the couch. He's reading reports. I'm supposed to be doing homework. I'm not staring. Your Enigma senses are tingling. I can feel you watching me. That's not my Enigma senses. That's love. He sets down the reports, looks at me with those dark, sharp eyes that saw right through me from the very beginning. You're still impossible, he says. And you're still mine. He doesn't argue. He just pulls me closer, and I let him. And the city outside our windows keeps spinning. And somewhere out there, people are still trying to figure out how a 17-year-old Enigma stole the heart of the Ice King. Here's the secret. I didn't steal it. He gave it to me. He just didn't know it yet. And that's the thing about Enigmas. We don't take. We don't force. We just wait until the person we've chosen realizes they've been choosing us back all along. Kwon Jaehyuk chose me the moment he sent that first cup of tea down to the front steps. He just needed 18 years and a very persistent teenager to figure it out. I was happy to help.